And another one. Okay. Alright. Should be good. Hello, everyone. Good afternoon. Welcome and happy Wednesday. Sorry I've been gone a little bit. Been a little busy getting some stuff done with the truck, but truck is done. Motor is out. But I'll get a little more into that here in a second. Just let me grab some stuff and we will jump in here. Oh, we're gonna need these guys. Grab this guy. I can get shut off. We should be okay without that. Okay. Alright. Okay, jump us in here and load. Perfect. Okay. And oh great. Remember to open that. There we go. Alright. And well, unfortunately we're starting today with a little bit of scuff. I tried to get it to work. I also had a whole little scuff moment where I had to like completely restart everything. So yeah. um, but unfortunately our lip sync settings have crapped the bed yet again. I've gone in, I've switched it, I've tried doing some other things. I can't get it to go whatsoever. So unfortunately we just kind of gotta deal with it for today, unless it wants to randomly start working. And then, yeah, like I was saying, I had to do a full freaking restart and everything. Like, ATS was crashing, and Naruto was having issues opening. I was like, okay, screw this. Just stop everything. Right, close everything back down. It's like, okay, let's do it. Quick restart. Hopefully that should fix stuff. And so far, it's doing not too bad, so I can't complain. I kind of wish it would help with the lip sync settings. I was hoping it would have, but fortunately it didn't, so other than that though, like everything is running good. ATS is back up and running. um, as you can see with me standing here, our Baruto is up and running and good to go for the most part. I'm just quickly throwing some shoes on here, and yeah, this, I will admit, I was a little bit slightly unprepared today. Alright, so this on real quick. Just because, yeah, I'm not dealing with that. It's too freaking cold to deal with that. Like I've said before, it is one nice thing about the weather when it gets cold here is I don't have to worry about anything in my room overheating. It's more just a matter of it's freaking cold and it sucks. Because, yeah, after the US got their big freaking snowstorm and everything else, we had another one come back through, so we went from basically being like thawed out completely to, and I mean like thawed out completely, like to the point like there was almost no snow left on the ground. So now we are back under probably in some spots close to a good foot at least of snow. Like, it's a little ridiculous how hard it came down. Just this bit a little nicer to sit on. But yeah, that was a snowstorm we were getting, and it basically just reburied us under a crap load of snow. So, and then we got the cold weather with it. We're back down to freaking like we're at. Let me check here. We're at, according to the weather app on my phone, right now we are at minus 25 Celsius. Feels like minus 36 Celsius. So yeah, we definitely got the cold to go with it. and then you get the wind chill in there, and that's where you get the feels like 36, and we are supposed to be like this basically from today all the way up until next Tuesday. We get back into single digits, a bit of negatives. We're still not back by the positives or anything, but we're back into single digits of negatives. But luckily enough, we managed to get out. I managed to get out there. We got the motor finally pulled out of Buddy's truck. It took us a little bit longer than we were expecting, but that's because there was a couple bolts that were hiding that we weren't expecting. Like, we thought we had all of them. It should just come out. No, it turns out there was a few we were missing still, and it's like, holy crap. And, like, they were in, like, sneaky spots. Like, you wouldn't expect there to be a freaking stud or anything. And it's like, what? But, yeah, no, we finally... It was Monday I went out. Yeah, because, yeah, Wednesday and Friday last week, I was out there and we were still working on getting stuff done. And then I also went out Saturday to get some stuff done, and we thought we were basically ready to go. Like, everything should have been done. The exhaust was cut, like, motor mounts were undone. We thought we had all the bell housing bolts. So, come Monday, when we go to pull it, turns out we don't have all the bell housing bolts. So, we got those undone. And then, yeah, finally, we got out. Got the last little stuff that was stuck. You know, a couple electrical connections, like the one oil cooler line. We got that done. Um, yeah, we got it up. We got it out. We got it in the truck and on its way. So we luckily don't have to worry about that for a little bit. But yeah, that's basically what I was doing Wednesday and Friday last week. Is why I missed stream. And then yeah, Monday. By the time, like, I was kind of hoping Monday was like, it was supposed to be an easy day. Like, go in, just hook it up, maybe grab a couple of the last little connections we missed, whatever. Because you're pulling the motor, it's bound to happen, right? So if we're basically expecting to just go hook it up to the hoist, lift it up a little bit, undo some stuff, and lift it out. Yeah, that didn't work. Like, I was expecting to be home. Like, I was out there for 10, ended up being a little closer to 10:30 because I was running a little late, a little behind. And so it's like, okay, whatever. So we get out there and then, yeah, we get started, and I freaking sitting there and we're doing stuff and then we're finding stuff. It's like, oh crap. And of course, me being one, like, small guy that can actually reach into stuff, I have to undo most of this, and it's like, god damn it. So yeah, after sitting there for a bit, like, went out there for 10:30. We were hoping to be done by like noonish kind of thing. 1 o'clock maybe. You know, I was hoping maybe be back in time to actually stream on Monday, but that didn't end up happening. We didn't end up getting the actual motor out of the truck until 5 o'clock. Or, yeah, no, it was like 5 to 5 by the time we got the motor out of the truck and into the box of the other truck. And, like, it was a little ridiculous, yes. We missed some things, but I mean, that, whatever. Like, it's my first time freaking pulling the motor, so I think I did not too horribly bad, right? But yeah, we got that out. And then came back to town. Yeah, by the time I got back to town, it's like, do I bother? Like, I was debating on doing like a late night stream, but I was like, I don't know. I'm not really up to it. I kind of just came home and like flopped on the bed, and I was like, no, I'm done. So this is technically the first stream back since frickin' 158 has come out. There's a couple pre-patch things that have happened in World of Warcraft. Um, yeah, there's a few things. But I figure we'll start with ATS today. Friday I'm thinking we might jump back on to Farming Sim. I'll actually like jump on a little bit beforehand and progress the time a bit. So our one grass field should be good to go, and then a little bit more, and we should be able to do the wheat. Um, but yeah, I'm kind of hoping to jump back in, make some hay in the next stream, and if we can, we'll pull the wheat off too. And then, depending on how stuff goes, we might even pull the barley out and finally put canola in. But we'll have to see. Like I said, that's kind of the plan for Friday. Um, Other than that, I wanted to check out the 158 stuff a little bit more. I know they did a physics and collision update in like in this update along with a couple other things. Um, I have played a little bit since it's come out. I just haven't had a chance to actually like stream it yet, so I kind of know what we're expecting. But the plan for today is we're jumping on to um not like my big main profile or anything. I did want to do part of the Valentine's Day event, but unfortunately, with having pro mods on there, and I think the person actually being in Canada right now in the map with pro mods not in it is causing it to have issues. So anytime I try and load into that profile, it just crashes. So I need to wait for pro mods to roll out the update, put it back in real quick, and then should be able to load back in and get that one back and up and going. But I'm not sure if I'm going to be able to do that in the time before the event is done or not. So, right, like I don't know if the Pro Mods has already done an update for it, but I'll have to find out later. So we're just jumping on the kind of like secondary profile, the one I was using for if you've been around for a bit, you probably remember when I had open convoy days. Right, so I had the one profile that was unmodded, other stuff like that. Well, since I've don't really do open convoy days anymore, I decided, you know what, we'll throw some mods in. I'll throw a couple trucks in, and that's the one we're playing on. So it's not quite as high level, doesn't quite have high money, but you know, high enough, right? But right now I've got the LT out. We're hooked up to a chip van, my own personal chip van. I decided to discard it and pull out one of my trailers. Also for the fact of it's one of the sliding tandem trailers, so I actually have the ability to take my wheelbase and change it depending on where we are. So like if we're in a tight area and I need to be able to back the trailer into a tighter spot, I can actually bring the tandems towards the front more, make it a little bit easier to turn sharper. Or I can put them to the back, and right, like usually when you pull up to a dock, you would put them all the way to the back to help with the weight. So, right, stuff like that is reasons for having a sliding tandem. But I figured I haven't actually pulled one for a bit, so I was like, you know what? I have all the keys mapped for it. Why not? So I went and pulled the truck and grabbed the trailer, and I've done a couple runs so far. So basically, we're just gonna keep doing some running around with DLT and a chip van and see what shenanigans we can get into, what we can find, and yeah. So I guess with that being said, I probably should actually let the game in here. Add up in the background, but it's like kind of on the off screen, so I could go to a different screen if I need to. But yeah, no, let's jump ourselves on in here. Oh, hang on. I guess before I do, I should probably actually swap over our category real quick. Second here. Okay, info. Category. American Truck Sim. Okay, there we go. Alright, so that should be good. And we can close this back down. That. Okay. So now we should be good. Alright. I'll jump this on in here. Load. There we go. Perfect. Alright. And they did do a couple little like UI changes and stuff. So like with not having the UI mod on, so like we don't have the small map up top or anything. It's still down in the corner. Fortunately, mine is kind of blocked by chat, and I blocked the other little UI piece, but it's a little tachometer with a speedometer on it, you know, extra lights like your signals and stuff like that. I'll jump in here real quick, and you can kind of see it over my shoulder there. But you can't really see it. Here, let me see if I can. Oh, and then yeah, this is another thing. So when you hit F1, instead of having the tiny little menu, you now get this. And it tells you pretty much everything. Also gives you a controls list. Right. So you can go in and swap stuff out, like mapping options. So it'll bring you in here. You can do that right from in-game. But yeah, I'm gonna quickly pop over here. I'm gonna bring me in just a little bit here. So that way you can see what I'm talking about here. So if we jump back in, see, right in the bottom corner there. So you got your tachometer, your speedometer. It tells you what gear you're in. It gives you a fuel gauge. I want to say that it looks like high beams and fog lights, which we really don't have to worry about. Signal lights. There's also other stuff you can have. You can bring up, like when you bring up your menu. If you go to your widget options here, this will do other stuff. So like you can set the mirrors to be like only an exterior, enabled just entirely, hidden. Tachometer is this one. There's also indicators, which are more stuff down here. So you've got stuff from like parking brake to like Jake to warnings to beacons to like there's a whole bunch down there. But I run without them, just keep it a little bit cleaner. For the most part. I probably should disable the tachometer because I really don't use it and I sit in the way too much, so and then yeah, down over here, like under the chat box, unfortunately, there's a map. They did make it smaller, so it's not quite as bulky to try and see, and it doesn't take up quite as much room. But yeah, you can just go like that, and then you can kind of set up how you want, like what you want in there, what you don't want in there. Real quick here, I'm just gonna quickly come back and move myself back over. Okay, here we go. Alright, yeah, and then it shows you damage level for truck, trailer. If you actually have a load going, it'll have all the details here, but it'll also have a cargo thing here for damage, so you can keep track of that too. Your local regulations, so like whatever state you're in, speed limits for the cities, highways. Other than that, everything else still here, like your photo mode, your service, your adjustments, right? One thing I did definitely notice, especially with the physics change, some trucks now, depending on the horsepower, like this one, the LT I've noticed isn't actually too horrible, even with this one still having 1,000 horsepower. But like the Pro Star with 800, at least that 800 motor, it's very jumpy. It's like it's kind of a whole different experience trying to drive it now. Because it just flies up there through the RPM, right? That's why I say like the LT isn't quite as bad. It's still a little bit like I still have the power and everything, but it's not um that's the word I'm looking for. Um it's not as jumpy, I guess I could say in a way. Okay, fine. I'll start the track. Sitting here freaking keeps dinging at me. Hey, engine off. Use this button to start. Dude, I know. Like, I thought I turned those off, but apparently not. Oh, my bad. Sitting on the throttle a little bit. Alright, just getting that set up there. Okay. Alright. But yeah, with this profile being based out of San Diego, I was like, well, where can we go that's, not horribly far, but a little bit out, but not California. So, apparently, I finished my last job in Yuma, so that's where we still are. So, I was planning on just grabbing another one from here and seeing where we go, right? Like, I would like to, even though I know there's a few cities and stuff I need to get in California, and, well, I mean, everywhere on this profile. But slowly getting there. But I'm thinking, it's like, do we want to go a little further into Arizona? I mean, we're gonna have to, unless we go up to like Nevada or something, right? Where can we go? It's a little bit far, but not horribly far. What is it? What? That's a new city. Is that part of the 66 update? Rework? Maybe. Los Angeles, New Orleans. Yeah, you know what? Yeah, no, I've never even heard of that place. That works for me. Okay, GPS. Alright, here we go. Yeah, like, don't get me wrong, like, this one is absolutely still freaking jumpy and everything, and still not quite that bad. Like, definitely does not take much to get up through the gears anymore. Like, it didn't take much before, now it really doesn't take much. Make sure you can see around the corner. Like, you definitely have to make sure you're paying attention. You have to, like, go easy on it. Otherwise, it's just... Like, I usually don't get going that fast there. Like, I'm doing frickin' 50. And when I'm doing 50 miles an hour in a 40 spot, it's like, okay. I never... Like, unless I deliberately, like, put my foot on the floor, I could never hit 50 down there. No matter what truck. 1,000 horsepower, frickin' almost 1,100 horsepower. Yeah, you definitely, and then coming to a stop, you definitely feel the weight a little bit more, like the weight behind you. It's a noticeable enough change. You almost kind of have to relearn how to float your gear. Because, like, even just a little bit of throttle input and you're freaking, like, 2000 freaking RPM, 2500 RPM, like, screaming. You don't even realize it. And then you look at it like, holy crap. So, today is definitely a little bit of a run around, do some loads, check out some of the new stuff, the physics update and all that. But also kind of make sure I can still frickin' drive a truck. So I have definitely had a few moments, depending on what I am driving, I have completely screwed myself up. Oh, oh, okay. Yeah, thank you. Oh. Yeah, no. If you weren't expecting it, it definitely can screw with you a little bit. Like, throws things off just ever so slightly. See my trailer was ready. I was like, what? Hang on, no, I should just be loading. Hang on, where's my frickin'... Oh, no, okay, we'll be fine. Okay, I know, it's just... Okay. Said my trailer was ready. I was like, what? I'm not picking up a trailer. I have a trailer. Alright. Okay. I guess one bonus with it being a little bit of a shorter trailer. Does not take quite as much to get it lined up. Okay. Let's see if we can just sneak on in here. Okay, a little bit more in. There we go. And straighten out. Okay. Alright. And shut the truck off. I'll pull the brake. Just in case. Get loaded. Okay, now we're good. Alright. Fire truck up. Turn some headlights on. Parking brake. Okay, what we got? 196 miles. Not too bad. How's our... Oh yeah, our axle's up a little bit. Good enough. I'm not too worried about it, unless while we're going to the dock. In which case, I'll just push the axle back. Clear. Good, good. Okay, before we get going here, quick sip of coffee. Okay. No, make sure there's no one coming. Love the fact that I can see all the way around the curve. Okay. So we're not doing bad. Oh no, that's gonna completely screw. Okay. No. Go sit inside. Oh, come on, stop. There we go. Oh. Were you standing there? I knew something was a little screwed up. Yeah, no, like once we get up and we get going, it's not too bad. But definitely, like when you gotta screw around in town and some stuff, the new physics kind of screw with you a little bit. Like I was saying earlier with Pro Star, like that thing is so freaking jumpy. Like I actually hit the point of I went in and I swapped the motor. Well, I did and I didn't. Like it's technically the same motor. It's just instead of it being the 800 horsepower version, it's a 600 horsepower version. So dropped a couple hundred horsepower, and it definitely drives a little bit better now, a little bit more like it used to. You know, not quite as bad, but still has some power. But you definitely notice a difference, like when it comes to hills and other stuff. Um, Unfortunately, I can't really show off the new keyboard thing they put in. Like that's tailored a bit more specifically for keyboard players. Um, but basically, that's you hold your W button or your up arrow, and it'll do like a partial throttle kind of thing, where when you're like cruising out like this on the highway, right, you can sit there and you can hold the button. It'll do a partial throttle and like keep you at speed, cruise. But if you need to pass someone, you just do a quick little double tap, right? Like just let off and then double tap. And you actually get, like on the second tap and you hold it, you actually get like all your power. So if you need to pass somewhere or you need to go uphill, you just double tap, hold your button. It gives you all your power, and then you literally just let off, and then just push and hold it down like normal, and it goes back to its partial throttle thing so you can cruise. And but like I said, like I can't really, like I could probably show it off. Like I would have to probably start a whole new profile to show it off, just for the fact of all of my profiles, they all have the wheel, pedal, and shifter setup already in them. So I'd literally have to like start a new one and go to like purely keyboard only. And I mean, it's kind of tempting, but at the same point, I didn't really like playing on keyboard for too long, just for the fact of, for me, it was turning. Like going around curves and stuff on the highway. Like, don't get me wrong, like it took me back to the days of like 18 wheels of steel. And that was nice, but it's like, I don't know. But I mean, that's also kind of what happens when you get used to a wheel. And after so long of using pretty much nothing but a wheel, right? Like, for me to go back and do like keyboard and controller now just feels screwed up to me, right? Because I got so used to actually having the shifter and the wheel and the pedals, you know, and actually like driving. So yeah, you take that stuff away and it's like, oh, this feels weird. Like super weird. And yeah, definitely also notice, I mean, you can't really see it, because like I said, unfortunately my chat box is in the way. Um, but they also changed, like, how the speed thing shows up, and, like, your speed versus, like, if you're speeding over, like, if you're over the speed limit, right? Like, it's still kind of the same thing. Like, it's your little box. It's got your speed in it, and then when you start going over the speed limit, it starts going red. Depending on how far over you're going, right? So, like, the faster you go, the redder it gets. Oh, come on. There we go. Um, but yeah, they basically did the same thing, but they kind of just updated it, like, brought it up to the new UI kind of thing. And it turned red. Like, it's still a little block, it turned red, but it's more of, now it's not the whole block, it's kind of just the letters that turn red. And, oh crap, there is a vehicle there. I didn't realize there was a vehicle there. And this, ladies and gents, is why you freaking turn your lights on. Like, and it's one thing I've noticed, like, especially on, like, horrid weather, like snowstorms, blizzards, you see a whole bunch of people, and they drive around, like this, no taillights. They got headlights, and no taillights, nothing. It's like, dude, we can't see you. Right? Like, see, he gets far enough away, and if I didn't know he was there already, and I didn't see his headlights, I would have absolutely no idea he's there. Stuff like that is definitely when it gets sketchy. Because it's like, dude. And freaking, I know one of the worst things for it is freaking trailers. There are some trailers that are just horrible. They're horrendous, like zero freaking lights on the back of them. Like, I was just, in this whole process of us going and, you know, trying to fix the truck and then end up pulling the motor out of the truck, you know, drive up the highway a bunch. And you definitely see some things. Like, I was driving out the one night and I literally freaking driving up, just, you know, got the cruise set and minding my business, doing whatever. Just, you know, cruising along, get there eventually. And I start coming up on something. I'm like, is that? What is that? And then I see the little lights freaking pop up at the bottom right by the road. I'm like, what the fuck? Turns out it was a freaking trailer that had, loaded with hay bales. And, like, the hay bales weren't really, like, covering the lights. Like, they were definitely down a little bit. So you couldn't really tell it was a trailer. But it just the way that some of the trailers are made and some of the lights they put in them, right? Like, yeah, I literally caught up to them and I was like, holy crap. Like, I didn't even realize it was a truck with a freaking trailer full of hay. Like, I couldn't see anything. And then I got up a little closer and I saw there was headlights in front of it. I was like, what? And then I saw it when I got there. I was like, oh crap, okay. It definitely went from doing like 100k, 105 to freaking like 80. And it's like, oh, great. So I kind of hit the point. I just like, you know what? If I'm having issues seeing them and like I'm driving a because I took the Duramax out. So I mean, that's like a I think it's a friggin' 2020 2500 HD. It's got freaking LED headlights, factory. Like, you, if I don't see you on that thing, there's a problem. Like, the thing has actually got some really good visibility on it, surprisingly. Um, but yeah, like, and those lights are decently bright. Like, I get flashed all the time for my low beams. I find it kind of amusing. I've kind of gotten to a point of I just kind of purposely drive home in the dark with my low beams. Because I know everyone else is using high beams. So at first, when they first basically see you on the highway, they expect you to have high beams on. So I'll have people leave theirs on, or they'll freaking shut them off a little bit out, and then they'll flash me as they get closer. And it's like, oh, dude. And then I turn my high beams on. And like the thing is, like we didn't go out and buy freaking super bright LED bulbs or anything for it. Like they're literally the factory freaking headlights. They've never been changed. Um, and yeah, like we haven't done a leveling kit on the truck or anything, so they're still like the truck sits factory height. The only difference between that and the actual factory Duramax is the fact that we took the running boards off and put a few lights in. Like the light bar in the front and the pods I put in when we did the IRL stream. But that was it. Like, other than that, the truck is still completely 100% stock factory. Haven't done anything to the motor or anything else. That's literally had a couple pods in, put a little, like, 12-inch light bar in, took the running boards off. That's just because we broke them. Like, the DEF system, all that, it's all still there. Which kind of sucks, because that thing has crapped out on us a few times already. Thank God for warranty on the newer vehicle. But yeah, so I ended up basically when I found this freaking truck with a bale trailer, because I didn't know how far up he was going. I was like, you know what? Screw it. I'm gonna just stay behind him, and I'll basically use myself as kind of like a beacon, almost like a light to be like, oh hey, there's something here, by the way. And I mean, he was even going slow to the point we had a semi go around us, and I'm like, you know what? It's all good, because at least the semi freaking knew we were there. Because something tells me if I wouldn't have been there, he would not have seen him. Or at least probably not seen him in time, and it would have been like, oh god. And I mean, like, don't get me wrong, like, I definitely did think about going around him and stuff, but I'm like, no, I shouldn't. Because like I said, like, if I couldn't see him, there'd be no way the friggin', well, I mean, the semi behind me should see him. But by the time the semi would have time to actually slow down for him, I don't know. Because, like, oops, we were rolling back there. Because, yeah, like, I didn't see him till I frickin' almost actually damn near frickin' just about hit him. Like, I didn't see him till I got, I want to say probably 15, 20 feet behind him. And then it frickin' everything lit up, and it's like, oh crap, that's a frickin' bale trailer. So, like, I know the semi would have had probably easily bright enough lights to see him, but for the fact of how slow he was going, like, yeah, it was just a lot easier. So I just stayed behind him for a bit, and then We hit the one highway crossing, and I'm pretty sure he went straight, and then I turned right and kept on my way, and went on and worked on a truck. It's kind of amusing that freaking definitely was a bit of a pain in the butt getting it out. And I've already said I'm not really excited to put it back in. Especially just for a few of the things, right? Like, I know a few of those bell housing bolts are going to be an absolute pain, just for the fact of how much of a pain they were to take out. And then, of course, you got stuff like torque converter bolts and trying to get those in the right spot to actually frickin' get them in and torqued in. Like, that's gonna be a frickin' pain in the butt. I'm almost kind of at the point, because, like, I'm debated, and I've even brought up, you know, pulling it maybe as a long block, and then just separating the transmission once we get it out. But, quite up for the idea, apparently, so it's like, alright, whatever. So we get to fighting with friggin' bell housing bolts while it's in the truck. So, it just means we get to fight with them again, putting them back in. Although putting them back in, I hope shouldn't be quite as bad. I hope. I know it's gonna take a little bit for us to get the frickin' truck done. Like, get the motor back in completely and everything. Okay, shut that off for a minute. Man, no, I am definitely, very much looking forward to it. I'm just hoping basically once we get it in, get it sat down, like sat in its spot. But some of the stuff just kind of goes in nicely. Okay, there we go. And, oh, great, no. Okay, brake. Shut the truck off. Unload. Now, is this gonna glitch out on me again, or is this gonna actually cooperate? Oh, no, it's gonna glitch out on me again. I don't know why it's been doing this, but basically it kind of goes up to the next point, and then, like, the next level, kind of from where it is, and then just stops, even though I have... What do I have? 370 here, if I go like this, for 384. So, definitely something going on there a little bit. No idea why. It didn't even really, I don't think it even started with the new update. I think it was a little bit before the update. But either way. Oh, what the crap is that view? Recenter here. Okay, put that back in. Okay. How are we doing for... We're in, not bad. Okay. So I guess next thing is what we got going out here. Okay, that's a little far out there. Flagstaff isn't too bad. Yeah, those ones are going back to California. You know what? I'm up for another load, hey. Why not? That even takes us to friggin' couple other spots. Okay. That works. Eyes up. What's this frickin' view, man? At least the nice thing is, literally right here. Okay, cargo market. Take job. Alright. Where do we need to back in? Oh, back in like the other side of the yard. Okay. So we need to go that way. Oh, okay, I see it. Just on the other side of this right here. And before we back in here, people are probably gonna call me a little bit of a cheater for this, but this is why I have sliding tandems. So I'm gonna just turn my trailer brake on here. Hit my button. And we're just gonna back up. So that's at the front. And hit our button again. Let our trailer brake off. And make sure we're actually locked in. But with having done that, and shortening the distance, I effectively, in a way, just kind of made the trailer shorter. So when it comes to backing up, it'll actually turn a little sharper, kind of like a small trailer would. Like how they usually whip around really, really quick. This kind of will do the same thing. Okay, we're just gonna quickly spin it around here. Put her in. Like, don't get me wrong, I know sliding tandems are definitely more meant for, like, spreading out your weight. And other stuff like that. Not for parking. But it's just kind of a nice little trick I use. Makes it nice and easy. And then basically, when you're either loaded or before you load, if you want, you just give that trailer brake another yank, hit your button, and you drive forward. It's where you want your axle. Yeah, that's all the way at the back. Okay. I don't usually like to go all the way to the back. Just a little bit more to the back. Lock that back in, trailer brake off. Oh, gear would help. So it's lined up back in here again. Okay. Parking brake. Set truck off. Load trailer. Here we go. Okay. Oh. Turn on. There we go. Alright. So now, and since we did the tandem before, we don't gotta worry about it. We can just turn out here and be on our way. And then also depending on like what state you're driving in and other stuff, if you actually have like traffic fences, everything else turned on, I'm pretty sure you can actually get in trouble for having your tandems in the wrong spot. I don't usually have to worry about it, because, you know, I don't worry about, like, I don't turn on fatigue simulation or traffic offenses. It just, you know, makes it a little bit easier and a little bit nicer to stream it. Right, so like if you don't gotta worry about all the other crap and you don't have to worry about stopping all the time. Right, you can just kinda keep going. Which is usually what we end up doing, right? Like, start with one job and then we'll just find another one from where we dropped off and just keep going. So, it's kinda nice to be able to literally just like keep driving, only have to worry about fuel. Instead of having, you know, stop every 5, 10 freaking minutes to, you know, oh hey, you're tired. You need to have a rest stop. It's like, dude, we've been driving for 10 minutes. I don't need a rest stop. I just need to get there. And I mean, especially being that I usually do shorter runs, like this one we're doing, it's a 230 mile, or like a little bit more. I think it started like 237 miles. We're at 233 right now, sitting at the light. Yeah, especially, oh, come on, gear please, thank you. With doing the shorter trips, it's like every 5, 10 minutes they're having to stop just for a rest stop. It's like, really? There's no point. Like, it's so much easier to just take them off. Like, if we were doing, like, if I started doing, like, big long hauls again, okay, that's a little different, right? Um, because, well, if we're doing big frickin' long hauls, you know, having a rest stop here and there isn't exactly a bad thing. But, I mean, even doing one of the like some of the longest long hauls we could do, still didn't really, I didn't feel like it actually took long enough to warrant having rest stops in, right? Like, if we, you know, like once we branch a little bit more into the eastern side of the states, okay, that'll be a little different. Like if we're doing a run from like, saying like New York or Miami over to like California or up to like Oregon, okay, that's a little different. Something like that, okay, I might actually put rest stops in for. Just so it kind of gives us a timer and, you know, because when you're doing a really big long haul like that, having some breaks, would be nice, right? Like how I usually do my break time every hour and a half to 2.5 hours kind of thing. Um, but it would kind of just be a little more game dependent. So it'd kind of be we're barely speeding. Holy crap! Holy crap! Okay, easy, Jesus. It's my fault. I wasn't even paying attention. I got a little busy yapping. Oh well. But yeah, no, like I said, if we're doing like a super big long haul, like we're going across the frickin' states, right? Putting rest stops in so everyone has a chance to actually, have a break, right? Because that's probably how I would do it. Is every time we would have to take a rest stop, depending on how often it wants to do it. Motherfuckers, frickin' scales. Um, but yeah, depending on how often, like, it would want you to do a rest stop. Like, if it wants me to stop every 5-10 minutes, and we're doing a big frickin', like, across the states frickin' trip, okay, no. I'm not gonna stop every 5-10 minutes. That will kind of just... We'll kind of, like, pick a couple midway spots to be like, okay, once we get here, we'll stop, we'll take a break, kind of thing. But, yeah, other than that, like... I don't know. I find sometimes they are definitely a little too quick when that bar, like, when it comes to, like, draining that bar. I mean, I get it, because they gotta condense everything down. 55,436 pounds. That's not bad. But yeah, when it comes to little stuff like this, like we started at like 237 kind of thing. We're already down at 175. Oh, and we're in Kingman already. Perfect. Yeah, like we're not that far out. Okay, I'm gonna quickly set this before we get too far. Just so it has the speed to drop back to. It's not, horribly slow, but not going super fast. Okay, right now we are doing... That'd just be 105 kilometers an hour. Right now is what we'd be doing. Which, I mean, is about normal. Or at least up here it's normal. I think we start doing... I think it's like 68 is 110. I think. I don't quite remember. I definitely have to I might have to actually update Pro Mods and we'll have to go find out. I think 68 is 110, 65 I'm pretty sure is 105. I mean, 3 miles an hour, 5 kilometers an hour. Sounds about right. But that's no big deal. Like I said, this would be about normal speed for a semi up here in Canada, right? But I mean, a lot of our roads are 100 kilometers an hour only. Like, that's the speed limit. Did anyone listen to them? No. But, well, I can't really say that. There are people that actually listen to them. And I mean, I do too, depending on the day and depending on the weather and like what the road's like. Like, if it's crappy out, like, I'm not gonna be freaking cruising down the highway at 110, right? Like, no. it's crappy out and like snowing or whatever, you know, like do around 100, like do at least 100 kind of thing, but like don't set your cruise and everything, like just in case, right? Because if you have to and like you start sliding or something, you can just let off the gas, and for the most part, depending on how bad you slide and where you are and how fast you're going, your car will actually just catch itself and just be like, whoop, flip right back into spot. Sometimes. Like I said, it depends. Alright, what do we... yeah, like, okay, we're already down to 127 miles. 26, 25, 125 miles. So, I mean, we're definitely making some decent progress. Like, oh, sorry, bud. Just make sure we stay over here. Yeah, if I might have to, just that mirror a little bit, but that's okay. I'm not worried about doing that right now. Oh, crap. Sitting here trying to get rid of notifications and stuff, and it's like, oh crap, I'm falling off the road. Oh crap. Oh, why didn't I get that notification? What the crap? Freaking Twitch mobile some days, I swear. I don't know what it is. I don't know if it's just my Twitch mobile or what. Oh. Okay. Sorry, guys. One sec. Okay. Oh, alright. I knew about that. Why did I not get that one? Frickin' Twitch. I don't know. I think it might just be my frickin' Twitch mobile. I don't know. But I've had times it's like I don't get notifications for people going live and other stuff, and it's like, really? Now that's dealt with. I'm not too worried about it. But it's definitely nice to see it didn't want to just notify me, even though I'm pretty sure I have notifications on. Pretty sure I do. Oh well. Important thing is, I found it. I found them. So let the friggin'... I'm gonna be one of those people for a minute. I'm gonna just let their stream play on my phone, and I'm gonna be a lurker in their stream while I'm streaming. uh, but no, it freaking basically a stream streak kind of thing, like to just keep the streak, but also knowing it went live means we also have somewhere to raid out to later in hour and a half ish, couple hours when we're done. So that's one thing I was a little more concerned about, and why I was kind of like, well, why didn't you tell me they went by? Right? Because when I started, I was like, I wonder who's actually going to be on later by the time I'm done. Because, yeah, like, I don't mind just ending stream and stuff, but it's like, I don't really like just ending stream. Like, I prefer to raid out. Like, and it's not even a matter of, you know, trying to get my name out there or anything else. It's part of the reason I actually picked the name I did. Like, everyone knows the story of how I got the name from my Tauren in World of Warcraft, and that's eventually what I plan my model to look like, is my Tauren. Um, but part of the reason I actually left the ambassador part of that in there is I want to try and see if I can kind of blend the two worlds a little bit more. Like, I know other VTubers have definitely played ATS, especially like it's a really amusing, really fun drinking game for a lot of them. But being, I don't drink, and right, like I kind of like this was my main focus when I started streaming, because most people know, like I started out, I was a flesh tuber, right? I actually had my phone set up kind of like a normal webcam, and right, like I didn't have the VTuber model, the V-Ride model to start. Um, I went from a flesh tuber to I did PNG for a few streams for a little bit there, and then I that was when I found V-Ride Studio and I started playing with that, and then that's actually where the model came from. So yeah, stuff like the demon mark on the half of my face I took from I basically took a picture, reference picture, and put it on, and then kind of moved it and turned it, cut some stuff out, cleaned it up a little bit, um, changed a couple things. Uh, Horns are technically made of hair, right? Like, you just kind of find little things you can work on to make them work for it, right? Like the fact of like the horns being made out of hair kind of worked out really well, so they still move with my head and everything. Yeah, and 11 miles out. And basically, I go take a left, go up a little bit, take a right, drive up. We're there. So we're good to go. Oh, opened it. Okay. Oh, okay, no. Never mind. I looked at my OBS for a second. I thought the light went green. No, I was seeing things. Alright. And oh, so is our light turning? Yeah. Oh, oh, come on, in for thank you. And, turning right, of course. Yeah. Oh, right here. I definitely might have to throw. Oops. The new iMod in. See what that does. See how that interacts with the changes they made. Okay, come on. Oh, I just missed her. That's okay. Not too worried about it. Just come down here and do a quick little loop around. Yeah, screw it, why not? How far off can we go? And, oh, truck there. I love how the LT is just having absolutely no issues. A little bit of off-road and the LT is like, okay, I don't care, let's go. Can I have a gear, please? Like I said, like, the physics update definitely, screwed with a couple things, but I think that's just a matter of we're gonna have to go through and figure out how to freaking float again. Like, it's not even like you forget how to float, it's just whether it wants to actually cooperate with you or not. Alright, set that off. Clear both sides. Good, good. Okay. Where do they want us to drop it? We going up to a door, or are we just dropping it in the middle of friggin' nowhere? Where's my axle? Okay. Oh yeah, I see it, okay. Alright. Not sure if it's actually a drive-in, or if it's turned around. We'll take a look real quick. Okay, it is the drive-in, okay. Okay. That's not hard to fix. People be like, what are you doing going around? You're supposed to go in this way. It's like, yeah, well, no one told me that, so I had to find out myself. So just hang on a second. I'm gonna go spin around. Because it won't take much. And the trailer around. And there we go. And... Oops. Yeah, a little too close there. Yeah, nice and easy. How bad did I do? Okay, no worries. Okay, that's not bad. We're mostly in the middle. Okay, we'll turn our headlights off because we don't need those in the middle of the day. Shut down. Alright, drop trailer, or drop load. And bitch right in. Oh, this friggin' thing. Every time, I don't know why. And, oh, God. Umbrella string. Is Discord might see far. Oh, sweet! Thanks for the drop itself. Have to add that to Discord after. I have issues with it sometimes. It's if I remember it sometimes. But thanks. Welcome on in. It's good to hear you like what you're seeing. Well, when it wants to work, I guess I should say. Because we have moments like it is right now where it's like, nope, not working. Okay. Alright, let's get right back up here. Okay, good. The key got stuck in the button box there for a second. I was all scared. It's like, uh-oh. I know my button box is a few years old. Well, tell me it's almost done. I don't want to buy a new one yet. Alright. Is that in? And basically, we're gonna just go out the way we came in. Yeah. Get back out over here to the gate. How long we... Okay. And before we get out of the yard and get too far, just in case. Before we leave, let's see what else we got going on here. What do we got going out? Flagstaff. What's Flagstaff to Flagstaff? Dominion. Oh, of course, they're out over there. Wyoming. That's a little bit of a trek. Mexico. Albuquerque. Yeah, why not? Take the run to page. Just means we gotta run out to WDS. 52 miles. Okay. So we gotta frickin' go then. Are they both opened? Oh, sweet. Alright, we'll run up. We can grab the load. And then I'm thinking, before we actually hit the road, we'll probably stop and do our break then. That way I actually let people, have a chance to get up and out of the chair, move around. And I know this game with its friggin' lights and stuff. So even just a little, like, 45 miles to get there is gonna take a little bit. Because these things like to just take their friggin' time. Oh, frick me. Come on. Here, thank you. 40 miles. Side here so I can actually see. Yeah. Kind of feel once we get out on the actual highway a little bit, it's not too bad. But yeah, especially when you're dealing with lights and stuff, it's like, oh, no, we're gonna be here a little bit. I guess it's a good thing I just don't have the traffic mod in here, because that would just be horrible getting out of some spots. Oh, where's the shifter right there? Oh, 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 back over. Okay, 20 miles out. Just reset our cruise, sit here for a minute or two. Okay, 15 miles. Oh, oh. There we go, just up on the right there. Alright, do we got anyone coming? No? Yep. Yeah, like I said, like they're very jumpy. That's okay, I'm not too worried about it. Leave me here. Oh, I guess come in here and grab job. We'll see what they want us to load. Turn our jig back off for a second. Alright. Cargo market. Scrap parts going to page. Alright, where do you want me to load? Where is that building? Okay. Oh, right here. Oh. I was expecting it to be down. Almost should have slipped the tandems, but you know what? Oh, not too worried about it. Alright. In we be. We're not quite. Not quite as in as I thought we were. Looked at the back end and it's just freaking sneaking out of the square there. It's like, no, no, no. There we go. That's better. Oh. We actually have a friggin'... Oh, sweet. This is my first time actually seeing one of the... Um... Uh... Loading things they did. Like, you don't actually have to, like, sit here. Like, you can skip it, but... That's cool. By the looks of it, it should take probably, like, 3 scoops, and we should be doing... I wonder if I'm gonna do the same thing when we go to frickin' drop it. Here's as to why the square looked like it popped up a weird color. Are you going for another one, or is that actually... Okay, there we go. Huh. Don't stop, drop, nothing. Sweet. Alright. Are we close to 140? Okay. So yeah, like I said, after we get loaded, before we actually hit the road, I am gonna let everyone go for a quick little break time here. Also gives me a chance to go, and, you know, think. You go for a quick bathroom break and frickin' get some fresh coffee and hot coffee and, you know, the usual. So, with that said, let's pop our brake here, shut the truck down, and I'm gonna flip our scene over to our break time scene and turn music back up, and we'll see everyone in probably 5-10 minutes. I want to say it might be a little closer to 15, depending, and because, you know, bathroom breaks. Um, but yeah, I'm gonna flip this over. I'm gonna pop the song here real quick. Oh, you know what? Okay, okay, Nightmare works. It's a decently long song. So, I'm gonna turn it back up a little bit. Swap us over, and I'll see everyone soon. Alright, that turned back on. Perfect. Alright, guys, it's back. Sorry, that took a bit longer than I was expecting. Ended up having to make a freaking fresh pot of coffee. Well, not a full pod, most of a pod. So I go for a smoke and a hoot real quick, and then, yeah, went out to the bathroom. So, hope it was a good, productive break for everyone, not just me. But, yeah, we're gonna jump ourselves back in here and get on the road. Oh, in a second. I want some coffee first. But yeah, I will jump us back in here and let's turn that back on for a second. Okay. And oh crap. Phone's dead. Oh bitch. Alright, well I'm not horribly worried if the phone dies. I do still technically have a way to control everything, so alright. Man, let's get fired back up here. Put your handbrake in and 1 second. Missed something. Missed some shoes. Okay, there we go. Got some shoes. And actually, before we start, yes, I know, another delay. But I want to quickly. Um, go like this. Stream deck. All right, I just want to quickly. And this. Okay. Hold on. I'm just trying to get my phone here to connect. It's one disadvantage, I guess you could say, to swapping phones. Yeah, swap everything else over. Okay, devices. I forgot what that thing go like. Okay, there we go. Alright, so if I close this one, open this one, still works. Okay. Alright, so we might not be entirely screwed. We should be okay. It's basically when this one dies, if we're still going, I can just fire up Stream Deck on the other one really quick and keep us going. Don't have to worry about that. We are good. Alright. Stand back in again. Here, no more. Let's hit the road. 173-mile trip, so it shouldn't be too bad. Shouldn't take too long. Alright, now jump back inside here. Yeah, we're going. Should good. Okay. Yeah, I figured he'd come over. Saw him all the way back there now. It's like, oh yeah, you're coming right over here, aren't you? It's okay. We'll just stay over here. Give him some room to get in. And it's probably hit zoom on that. Alright. Cruise is set. Just sit back, relax. Now watch. Just because I said that and I want to actually reach for my coffee and have a drink. We're gonna, yeah. We're gonna do it. Next exit, we're turning. Okay, so let's come back over. Take, brake on. Oh, it's green. Wait. I still need to slow down enough to turn, but sweet. Oh, of course. Okay, we're gonna want right lane. Yeah, I can see that. Go up around the curve, and then I have to take a right after, so I'm like, yeah, no. Like, don't get me wrong. I know I could easily just put my foot into it a little bit. and get around them, especially off of a light. But I'm not in the mood to fight with anyone for a spot today, so we'll just sit back, relax, take the opportunity to drink some coffee. Invisible decaf guy. Not bad. Well, there's a shop out here. We might almost have to run down there real quick. Yeah, it's good. I'm not worried about it. Something we'll probably do at some point. It makes sense to do that on the map discovery profile. Right. As we slowly go through and do all the cities, do all the garages with it. Because, I mean, worst comes to worst, even if I don't have, like, my own trucks to put in the garages, because there's no way I could freaking have that many trucks and actually drive them all the time, right? So usually what I'll do is I'll take 1, 2, maybe 3 garages for myself and like the custom trucks and stuff, like the mod trucks, like stuff I would drive like for on stream kind of thing. Right? So I got a little bit of room for those, but other than that, I usually just kind of build out some kind of truck, usually a base game truck, or something like, I know my one profile, I think my main profile, they're all, they're, like, all my company trucks are hater builds. The one profile, they're all Pro Stars. But I usually try and do either like a base game truck or a mod that I usually always have in that doesn't get taken out if I'm gonna do company trucks, because once you start screwing with them and their trucks and not having them, then it's just a whole freaking hassle. And you gotta go through and basically buy a whole crap load of freaking more trucks. Basically, buy a crap load of trucks just to give them something to drive. So, if you do something like a base game truck, you don't ever have to worry about it, because you, yeah, you know, it's a base game truck. It's always going to be there regardless. Mods, no mods. So, as we go through our map discovery and get more garages and stuff, we'll probably hit a point after getting so many that we can just go through and fill them all with trucks and fill them all with drivers. Because, believe it or not, like, yeah, I definitely had a little bit of help when it came to money on my main profile with mods. But a lot of that was actually not even mods. That was just the fact of I had that many drivers, right? And of course, to get that many drivers, and then they all start just bringing in like almost the mod level money that I was. So yeah, it kind of skyrockets you up pretty freaking quick. And I mean, like, don't get me wrong, it's not entirely a bad thing. Like, if I ever have someone that can actually like match my mod list, I can run a main profile in a convoy. Like, for the most part, it's not too bad. It wouldn't be too hard because a lot of them are Steam mods. So it's just a matter of sharing them, sending them, and um, basically them download them and put them in the right order. It's more stuff like the hater builds and then the lights that come with it, and then stuff like pro mods. Um, right, all the stuff that's not just on Steam, you actually have to go somewhere to get, kind of thing. And with like pro mods, you need your own profile on pro mods and stuff like that just to be able to download it. I mean, like, the hater build's not too bad, right? Because you can go on to Hatre's freaking YouTube and get it there, which is really nice. Um, like, even if you have an older version and you want the more up-to-date version, he's got a YouTube video with, I think, the most up-to-date version, like all the add-ons, everything. So, and it's literally just linked right in the YouTube. So, obviously, like, give the man a subscribe and everything else. Like, support the guy for all the hard work he does. Yeah, slow it down a little bit here. Oh, it's a little sketchy going through that curve. Definitely gets a little sketchy up in the mountains now. I mean, like, don't get me wrong, like, I'm not worried about power or anything. It's more just trying not to roll over in the curve, right? I will definitely say, like, the physics update and stuff is definitely gone a fair ways. Like, it's definitely gonna be a good thing, especially once we start getting all the other stuff, like the Ford pack, the Dodge pack, right? Like, yeah, once all the cars and the smaller stuff start coming in, freaking, it's gonna seem like all of the trucks seeming like really jumpy, like I was saying, like the Pro Star was, isn't gonna be quite as bad, like especially if you're in one of the small vehicles, because you're gonna kind of feel normal for them. But it does definitely feel a little weird for the higher horsepower trucks. I will say that. That's one thing I've noticed. Man, we should be getting there pretty quick. How far? Oh, crap. Don't. 9 miles out. Okay. So yeah, we're like almost here. Oh yeah, there we go. Page discovered. Looks like we gotta go through and go through town. Just on the other side, we take a right. don't see any stop sign or anything. So I'm gonna just keep going. It's definitely part of the trick of going to a new town. It's like, okay, I don't see a stop sign or a yield sign or anything. I'm just gonna keep on going here. Okay, this one's our next right. Should take us up there. At least one bonus to taking the LT today as opposed to the Pro Star. I'm not worried if the yard is gravel or dirt or anything because, well, we have the ground clearance. We got ground clearance, we got a little bit meatier frickin' drive tires. We actually have 6x4s, so we have a frickin' locking rear end. Stuff like that. So, we are technically set. I'm not worried about getting in and out. And of course, never fails. Get there, get pretty much the whole way. Nope. Red light. Alright, come on. Make sure I don't roll back too much, I guess. There we go. Okay, answer the entrance. Benjamin. I want to turn here. Oh yeah, I guess it's turn here. Don't go anywhere. There's a barrier there. You can't exactly go through that. Go, go, there's some good ships going. Finally. Just took a little bit. Definitely something I gotta say. For anyone returning to ATS after the 1.5.8 update, like if you haven't played for a bit, you're first coming back to that, just a heads up, especially if you've got a wheel and pedal set, it is gonna feel a little screwed up to start, but it's definitely something that's easily, like, you're able to get used to, kind of thing. Like, basically just keep driving a little bit, like, go out and do a few runs. Get yourself back into it. Because, yeah, once you do it, kind of just goes back to feeling like normal. You just gotta make sure you remember to watch yourself. When you're taking off somewhere, they do jump a bit more. And, like, I don't even think my drive shaft torque is turned all the way up. So, alright, where are we going? Inside? Oh, yeah. Okay. So what we're gonna do then I'm gonna come over here. Straighten out a little bit. Okay, we're gonna do a quick axle shift here. Do the brake. Navigation button. Okay. Button again, lock it back in. Trailer brake off. And we are locked in. Definitely want to go back and forth a time or two after you slide your tandem. You know, just make sure they're actually like locked into place. Because last thing you want is you go start driving and they start sliding. It's like, oh, okay, hang on, hang on. About them slid forward. I almost wonder, can I just like sneak in on this side? I actually almost might be able to. Okay, we're in, we're clear of the door. Clear of that. Okay. Do we clear the pile? Perfect. Okay, well that worked out a lot better than I was expecting. I must say a lot better. And a little closer up here. Okay. Well, that went a lot better than I was expecting. I was not expecting to be able to just slip in there. Alright. Sit down. Drop load off. Probably watch our bars glitch again. Because it's going to go up to the next one. And it's probably going to stop. Yep. Right there. Okay. Now we know where we actually are. Yeah, I'm not sure if that's something on my end, if it's something on the game's end. Either way, I'm not too worried about it. Alright. Bring it up. Get back out of here. Like, I was definitely expecting to have to frickin' drive up beside the other trailer, come up out the door, and back in that way. Just not expecting to be able to slip in and do a straight back. That was kind of nice. Okay, but now that we're mute. We can put our tandems back. Trailer brake. Good. Alright. Now we're locked in and good to go. Alright, let's pull up the gate here. Great, this is a downhill. Okay, so we're probably gonna need our parking brake for that then. Okay, close behind us. Good. Alright. Parking brake, neutral. Alright, I think I got it. How long have we been? Let me look first. 2.5. Okay. Be really around 2. Let's work up to 5. Yeah, okay, I can go for a little bit. I got a little bit more in me. Alright, what do we... Oh, crap, hang on. Let's pick the right market here. Cargo market. California, of course. Flagstaff, okay. Food base, of course. Where else can we go? Apparently I need to come up over here. I haven't been over here at all. Okay, so if I want to head up that way. And everything is just going back California way. It means we're probably gonna have to fast travel. Yeah, you know what? We'll do a fast travel. Cause yeah, if there's nothing over here, we'll just do a quick little fast travel down. And kind of knock out two birds with one stone. Have the little bit of more content of the new state, but also actually being able to do something. Alright. Now that we're here. And still there? Okay. Yeah, I'm okay with that. And okay, maybe a tiny bit longer one. I don't know. It's Texas. Release. Okay, that one's not bad. That still actually keeps us in frickin' Louisiana. It's right by where we are. 12 hours to get in. You know what? Screw it. Why not? 130-mile trip. Can't complain. Oh. Take our break off. Trying to figure out what the best way out of here would be. This way? Okay. Okay. Yeah, no, I definitely need to find something to do with that frickin' chat box. Because, like, damn. But, I don't get that. Like I said before, I gotta do a little bit of playing around with it. See what I can do. But also, I would like some opinions. Because one thing I've been thinking of doing is, like, widening it out a little bit and having it, like, stretch kind of across either the top or the bottom. I was thinking probably stretch across the bottom. So, kind of be like in the middle, somewhat off to the right side where it is, but it'd basically be like twice the width kind of thing, but a little bit skinnier so it doesn't take up quite as much. It's one thing I was thinking. I could also make it like this is what I want. Could make it like really tall and skinny, go up like the side kind of thing, but at the same point that kind of runs into the same problem I have it now with it covering the map. You could do a little thin one, kind of same way and do the bottom, but do it like up top kind of thing, across the top instead of across the bottom. I'm not too sure yet. I'm just kind of throwing some ideas. But I definitely need to go in and like fix the size a bit. That way it's a little easier to manipulate. But that was my fault. I went in and I was playing with it, trying to set it up, and I didn't think of actually like sizing it for the screen. I was more just trying to get it on its own out of the rest of the overlay. So I just need to probably go in, adjust that on its own, adjust the size of it, and then I can come in here and resize it, reshape it. Because I'd like it to kind of be like out of the way, but still there enough you can actually see it and actually be able to read it. You can definitely tell I've done that corner before. Or corners like that before. um, but yeah, like especially for... Can I have my... Whoop. There we go. There we go. It didn't want to give me the proper gear for a minute. Whoop, whoop. Okay, sneak up here by the shack. Security check. Okay, we good. But yeah, especially afterwards, like, when the VODs get uploaded to, like, YouTube and stuff, right? Like, I'd like the chat box to at least be able to be seen and be read. Kinda, I don't want to say regardless of what you're watching on, but kind of regardless of what you're watching on, if you know what I mean. Right, like, I'd like everyone to be able to actually, you know, see it. Oh. But yeah, trying to do that and have it at a point of, you know, it looks decent, it's readable, right? But also not completely in the way. Right? Like, even right here would be an example. Like, if I had it as a bar, kind of like here, right, on the bottom, it would cover up all this. You wouldn't be able to see any of this. So having it up top would be better. But then at the same point, when you get back out, all of your notifications and stuff are up top. So it's like, alright, so it'll block that off. Although, I mean, granted, they don't really, like, they don't stay. And it is usually open up there for the most part. So, like, up top could work. There, but hang on, I'm not meaning to scare you. I just gotta try and get this thing into a frickin'... Oh, we're going up to a dock, aren't we? We are, okay. So, this comes back to one thing I was saying earlier. A lot of places, at least up here, from what I've heard, proper trailer, they want you to slide your tandems all the way in the back. For when you're loading and unloading, right? So that way, like, when the forklift and stuff goes in, it, like, drops, like, into the trailer, and the trailer's actually holding the weight. It's a little bit easier, and it's a bit nicer. Okay. That one. Alright. And... and crank it right over. Come on. In there you go. And I'm hoping that should be enough. Pretty much in line. Works for me. Quick little easy fix here. Okay, apparently I have having issues today. Let's try it this way then. I mean, as long as I actually like get in on both sides of the dock, at least on the door, that's all that really matters. Oh, there we go. Okay, I don't know if we can do a dock bump or not. Dock bump. Oh, and it still works. Oh, nice. Okay. Shut the truck off. Let them get loaded. I didn't set my brake or anything, but that's okay. Alright. 131 miles. Got 4 hours and 20 minutes to do a 2.5-hour trip. So it shouldn't be too bad. Anyone else? Okay. And yeah, I'm not too worried about the axle. It can just sit at the back for the trip. I don't care. Here, okay, please. Thank you. Alright. And yeah, as long as I can basically get out of town and get on the highway kind of thing, not, you know, decently quickly, we should be good. Oop, oop. Maybe put a CB here, make sure no one else can. Oh, yeah, we're in gear, okay. I was a little concerned for a second, it's like, oh crap, did I leave it in neutral? Nope. And we cleared median, sweet. Perfect, okay. And back around the corner. Did we actually get wide? Okay, we did get wide enough. Perfect. One disadvantage to corners like that, you freaking, you can't even just a little bit too sharp, you're taking out the car. And like, the worst part is, I'm not even in one of my stretch trucks. If I would have been in one of my stretch trucks, I'd have to go even freaking. Actually, I probably could have done that with stretch truck going that wide. But there's some other stuff. It's like, yeah, no. I wouldn't have been able to do a stretch truck. Like the one we did before we fast traveled, right? When I went and just kind of snuck into the spot there and pulled through. Would not have been able to do that if it wasn't for the frickin' the shorter chassis truck, right? And then shortening up the wheelbase with the trailer, like, it's pretty much the only way that actually worked out. Okay, come on, light. Need a green. There we go. Yeah, I'm feeling this one's probably going to be red. Just because I know my luck. Yep. Thought so. Alright. Sit through another red. Hit the highway. Jump the speed. I think our 65 should be fine out here. I think so. I don't. I mean, granted, I could just hit the button and look, but. I'm not exactly worried about it. 70, okay. Okay, come on. There we go. Now we're getting back into it. This thing some days. Worst part is, before, that would have just caught the gear and kept going. But now it's like, no, I don't want to catch the gear and keep going. You can wait a little bit before I catch a gear. Like, really? Come on. But speed limit out here is 60, unless we get a little bit further. Oh, 70? That sounds like we can do our 65 to me. Works perfectly. And before anyone else, no, I do not have the truck speed limiter set, so I'm not capped at 65. I can actually probably take this truck and do 100, 110 miles an hour with a trailer, a loaded trailer. So yeah, it's definitely not that, it's just, I kind of prefer to sit around 65, because when I was doing convoys a lot, I would have buddies that were, like, one or two buddies would have a wheel, one would be on controller, and then I had a couple buddies that would play on keyboard, so it was kind of a toss-up, right, as to who could actually, stay with us versus who would leave us in the dust. And so it's like, well, I just stick to about 65, just as kind of like a median speed. Oh. Whoops, getting a little far over there. My bad. But yeah, that way it's kind of just like I'm going like quick enough for traffic, but I'm also like I'm not slowing everyone down, but I'm not like super speeding kind of thing, right? Um, but like when I do convoys and stuff, I do recently I've at least I've put the limiter on so everyone's capped at 65. That way, hopefully, that was also before the 158 update and the little keyboard thing they brought in, right? So, like, with them bringing that in, I think convoys, especially with keyboard players, are definitely going to get a lot easier. It's going to be a bit nicer. Because, yeah, if you can basically sit here and it just kind of gives you, like, somewhat throttle, kind of like what I'm doing right now, kind of just, like, on and off. Definitely, be a bit nicer for keeping pace with everyone, right? Because, like, it's definitely one thing you notice, when you play on a wheel versus, like, a keyboard or a controller. Like, controller is a bit easier than keyboard when it comes to, like, trying to keep pace with someone, like, on a wheel or something. But, yeah, when it comes to keyboard, basically before it was you were all go or you were no go. So, them bringing out the 158 update definitely helps with that a bit. Alright. What time is it here? 8 o'clock? Oh, let's turn our headlights on. I mean, we're not gonna get fined or anything for not having headlights on, but it would be nice to be able to see. So, yeah. Man, we're definitely making some pretty good distance. Like, we got 41 miles. 40 miles left. Then this run's done, and then I think we'll probably go up for one more after this. And then after that, we'll probably call it for the day before it gets too horribly late. Because I know I especially have some viewers and some friends over in the EU, so when it comes to them being here at stream, it's a little difficult. Because, well, for me right now, it's 20 to 6 in the evening. For them, they're 9 hours ahead of me, right? So, like, usually when I start my stream, it's usually like 2 p.m. here for me, but it'll be like 9 p.m. for them, and it's like, oh, crap. Like, it definitely gives you some perspective on, like, time zones and everything, and just the difference. Because, yeah, you don't quite expect it to be that much, but it is, and it's like, oh, crap. Okay, let's get over here. Because we're gonna have to move over. Double, okay. Do we need to go into this one? And yes, I did see the message. Our customer expects delivery very soon. I can tell the customer to hold up for 10 minutes. Like, literally 10 minutes, 2 miles out. Can you? Oh, you freaking dink. Okay, fine. Alright. Oops. Oops. Rolling a little bit to make sure we don't squish the car in front of us. Oop, 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 oop. Oh. I could try it, but I don't want to try it. I'm just gonna wait. Last time I tried and I got too close, I literally smacked into an invisible wall. So, I is good. And it just gives me an excuse. Put in neutral for a second. Take my foot off the frickin' clutch. Relax. Have a sip of coffee. On a green light. Perfect timing. Okay, what do we got? Okay, we got a dealer on the left here. But at least that's a repair spot and a teleport, essentially. Don't think I'm close enough, though, to get it. Oh, I am close enough. Oh, okay. Here we go. Yeah. Oh, the phone's down. I'll probably die soon. That's okay. If it dies, it dies. That is no problem. I definitely need to get my frickin' Twitch signed in on the new one anyway, so... I was frickin' a little mad yesterday. I went to go tune into, someone's stream. And of course, I had a decent little stream streak going. Like, I had a stream streak. I was sitting around, what was that? I think I was at like 55 or something streams. And then I frickin' switched phones and ended up being out of town. And I missed one. Like, no! Damn it! And like, I didn't even get a notification for it, because of course I forgot to go and sign in on Twitch when I switched phones. And it's like, no, damn it, this is not what I want. So, yeah, unfortunately that streak kind of went out the window, which sucked. There's one streak I was hoping not to break. And then all frickin' broke it. It's like, no! Yeah, let's see if we can just kind of sneak our way in here. One thing I definitely wish this truck had was extra lights on the sides. For reverse and stuff. Or we start getting close to the other trailer there. The worst part is they always get you to park in a spot like you're just gonna drop the trailer, and it's like, if I was doing like the free market and everything, it makes sense. I'd be like, yeah, I'm all for it. But with doing the cargo market, one thing they should do is they should almost set up like just a little designated spot, so you kind of just like pull in, pull off somewhere so you're not quite in the way, and then just have it unload that way. Or depending on what you're hauling, go up to like a pit or something, like when we had all the scrap metal, right? Like just back up to like a pit kind of thing and unload it from there. No. Personal little gripe, I guess you could say. Because, yeah, basically you come in, you shut down, you unload. And then usually, when it comes to a frame iron, right, like you would just start drive away. But yeah, no, now I gotta get my trailer back out and leave, right? Whereas if I find, like, if they actually had somewhere else, you'd sit, like, even, like, right over here, like, kind of right where the double trailer is in front of me, right? Like, even if you're just kind of off to the side, but, like, what would be considered out of the way. Alright, okay, before we get too far, let's take a quick look here. Oh, pardon me, excuse me. Baton Rouge, Forge. Oh, hey, hey, that works. And that's right where we're sitting, so yeah, that works out really well. Alright. I'll just quickly activate this guy here. Alright, scrap metals, job. Where are we parking? Almost exactly where we were. Almost exactly. Or like a spot over. 2 spots over kind of thing. And, oh, there goes the phone. Phone died. It is kind of nice having a second phone. To have Stream Deck on. It's definitely a little bit relaxing, right? Like, I'm not quite so stressed. It's like, oh crap, phone died. I need that. Right? Like, now it's kind of like, oh, phone died. Okay, switch phone. You just hold your horses for a second. That was terrible. Let me fix that. Oh, open more. Here we go. Alright, off. Load. Trailer's loaded. Alright. 119 miles for the last trip of the day. And yeah, I don't know if we're gonna have to take the ferry across. I don't think we do. So unfortunately we don't quite get to see that. Although, depending, I might say screw it. We might do a little trip across the ferry just because that little cutscene is really cool. But that depends. Also depends on kind of what time it is when we get there. So far we're looking at 3 hours. 10 p.m. So, according to this, be there about 1 in the morning-ish. So, it'll probably be dark. I don't know if we'll actually be able to really see anything. But we'll find out. Okay, wait for the train. And another way. Wait. Come on. Here we go. And around. Make it. Yeah. Wait. Okay. Over we need to get. All the way over. We go. Okay. Let's reset this here. And stay right. Yeah. Okay, we do have to move over. Oh, it's just gonna merge it over. Okay. Okay. One more? I think so. Oh, two more. Go. I'll figure it out. I'll get us where we're going. Even though some of these are frickin' just like spider's nests of frickin' roads, like. Jesus Christ. Like, it's just an absolute clusterfuck in some of these cities. And this was just a little one. You get to stuff like frickin' LA and like the bigger cities, like, oh my god. And I'm not even talking like just in game, I'm talking in real life too. As someone who's driven through LA a couple times and San Francisco a couple times and stuff like that, yeah, as some of them are just absolute, like, just roads everywhere, like, it's so confusing in some spots, it's ridiculous. Oh. Okay, we don't want the exit, so Only the one? Okay, perfect. There's only the one lane. Sweet. Sometimes you don't know if they're a double or if they're just a single, and it's like, is mine going too, or... But no, we're good. Just keep on rolling. Down. We haven't... Holy crap, I thought we got farther than we did. We started at 119, we're at 102. But now that we actually got some open highway here, it shouldn't be too bad. Depending on what all we got to slow down for. Alright. Random little frickin' red light, just kind of in the middle of nowhere. Okay. No idea why. But okay. Oh. Yeah, there we go. Yeah, get ourselves up to speed here. Elite, come on. Yeah, oh. And 65, perfect. I was gonna end up doing 65, probably not. But that's okay. I'm not too worried about it. He's not doing too bad. Like, we are getting closer to 60, so... He's doing okay. But we're down now to 68, oh, 67 miles, so... Shouldn't take us too long. Usually, if we go by in-game math, kind of, we should be there in about an hour-ish in-game time. Depending on how fast people want to go. But we do also have to turn off, so... We will see. Are you turning there? Sweet. And I can't say much. I'm going to this one, so... Whoop, whoop. Come on, all the way over. Sure, we actually get ourselves slowed down a little bit here. Last thing I want is to friggin' go sideways and flip over the rail. Would not be a good thing. Yeah. Make sure there's no one coming. Perfect, alright. Come on, let's, there we go. Perfect, okay. These out of the way, we don't gotta worry about that. $40 miles out. And definitely making a good chunk, so. Man, we got basically, according to GPS, we got 55 minutes and 36 miles to get there. 54 minutes. And we have 4 hours to be there. Is it actually gonna take us 50 minutes to go 34 miles? Don't know. I kinda hope not. It shouldn't. We actually do a little stop there. Okay, and around. No guardrail touch? Perfect. Yes. Toll road. I'm not too worried about it. Okay. And back up we go. At least a little bit, I guess. Can't get quite back up to speed completely, but we can get mostly there. I was about to be like, why I slowed down? Never mind. Hill. But perks to having an actual freaking high horsepower truck and just drop half a gear and away you go. And where are we at? 13 out? 12. 12 miles out. We're just about there. And yeah, I was about right. About 1 o'clock in the morning. Like, technically, we still have like 8 miles, but I can see the freaking city on the map. We are basically here. But of course, with the way time flows and everything, and the way everything's condensed, it's right. So like, according to this, we're like just getting in town. But that little strip there took, from when I mentioned it was 1 o'clock to now, took basically 10 minutes, and it's like, huh? Alright. Oh, and yeah, no, we're not taking the ferry, apparently. We're going in here. But that's okay. I'm not too worried about it. We can always go check it out next stream. Like the next stream we're doing ATS. Cause yeah, especially if we're already like right down here and it's not far. I basically just make sure it's daytime and we can head over. I could show everyone the cutscene, like for people who haven't seen it, right? Because like when I saw that for the first time, like that was cool as crap. Like, I definitely enjoyed that. Like, definitely good, especially like if you want to take a screenshot of it. Okay. I need to go over here. Not actually hitting anything or gonna hit anything. And... Oh no, okay. Deceptive little thing. It literally looks like it's just a little wall almost. It's like, no, it's angled. We're good. No issues. My eyes are just playing tricks on me. Okay, looks like we should be in back over there, but in a trailer. At least it's just on the other side of it. Or is it in here? In here? No. That's on the outside edge, isn't it? Oh, yep, right back there. I see it. Oh, definitely makes it nice and easy. Where is our... All the way at the back? Okay. We'll do that really quick first. Okay. Trigger the brake. Button. Back up. Hold that there. Okay. Once we gotta get on the inside the pile here. Oop, 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 oop. That was a little hard on the rip. My bad. Okay. Mirror check real quick. Even though I know it's really helpful. Or useful, because I'm just watching. Over and... It works. Straighten out from there. Okay. Jake brake can get shut off. Cruise control can get shut off. We're not gonna need them. Do our camp a little bit. Come on, a little bit. There we go. Okay, quickly. Oh, there we go. song a couple times because I'm just not quite in the mood for that. That's okay. Okay, right. Pull our parking brake. We'll just shut the lights off. Alright. Drop the load here. Apparently our next stream need to go and find the service center too. Alright, got that. So fire back up here. Not worried about having lights for this. We'll go and at least get ourselves back out to the gate. Oh, okay, maybe I should turn headlights on. Just in case. Even if we're not sitting all the way outside the gate, at least, you know, around the gate. Easy way to get out. Oh, oh, right. And... Hey? Ooh, easy. Okay, that works. We're just gonna pull off over here. So we're out of the way. And call it freaking good enough for me. We'll brake. Put our lights off. Shut the truck down. Alright. Since I managed to get the phone up and going, we are good there. Alright. So while I deal with this, I'm gonna flip us over to our chat in here. Because, yeah, unfortunately, my thing likes to be a little bit of a pain. I can't really, like, if I read out with the game and everything still actually up and running, it will, like, freeze my whole computer for a few minutes, and it's like, I can't do anything, I can't close anything. Crap. So, I basically just switch us over and finish off yapping for a few minutes, and gives me a chance to shut the game down, you know, get the raid set up, stuff like that. But also do other things. So like when people say like drop me the Discord, and if I actually remember like I do today, right, like I can go in real quick here and I can open my Discord and be like, okay, add friend kind of thing, right? So I'll do that here. Real quick. Oh, maybe or not. Okay, no, it wants to be a pain, so I'll restart that and do that later. I'm not worried about that right now. Alright, yeah, let me quickly get this set up and going here. Alright. And because I know it came out earlier. Do, 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 do. Okay, apparently she's not on anymore. Whoa. Okay. So who can we go see for the rest of the day? Okay, maybe not. Usually I can get lucky and there's freaking someone on, right? Right out too, but no. And it can also depend on like what everyone else's settings and stuff are at too, right? Like if they have it set so you need to be like have certain things before you can raid into them, right? Like I know mine is your account has to be active. Like you have to have made your Twitch account a month. Have your Twitch account for a month, and then like you can raid into me kind of thing. So but it depends on what people have them set at. So I've definitely noticed there's some people I can raid into, there's some people I can't. It's just it happens. But looks like today, unfortunately, there will be no raid. But that is no big deal. It's not like it hasn't happened before, so. But yeah, with that being said, I'm gonna flip our scene over here, our last one, and I'd like to thank everyone for showing up. Thanks to everyone who stopped by, it is greatly appreciated. Like I've said before, we are on the road to affiliate, so any follows and other such are always greatly appreciated. Even if we weren't on the road to affiliate, they are appreciated. But yeah, and if you're looking for places to find most of the streams after they've happened, I know Twitch will save my VODs for a week. After that, though, check the YouTube, because usually I can get them downloaded and put up there, so everyone can still go watch them and everything else. But yeah, I'm gonna flip us over here. Thanks again, everyone, for joining. Greatly appreciated. We'll see y'all Friday afternoon. Like I said, we're probably gonna be jumping back in on Farm Sim. I'm gonna try and get those fields. It's basically up and ready to harvest, so we'll go through, we'll do that, and then depending, we might be able to swap out the one field. Not sure yet. Like I said, we'll find out. But yeah, thanks guys for joining. I will see you Friday. I hope everyone has a good night or day wherever you are. Until then, see you next time.